as recorded in Matthew chapter 6. I just want to examine one verse and one phrase of his entire statement when they asked him, Lord, teach us how to pray. In verse number 10, he says, you pray, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. For this morning, I want to talk from the text, trust his will. Just tell that neighbor, trust his will. Trust his will. You may be seated. Trust his will. How many of you believe that you have been created by God? How many of you believe that God is a purposeful God? If you have been created by God and you agree that God is a purposeful God, then you must believe that God has a purpose for your creation. In other words, God has created you with purpose in mind. I would like to think that God has strategically purposed my life. I cannot say, Yvonne, that I've always walked in his will. But the Bible says a good man's steps are ordered by the Lord. He walks in his ways. He's not talking about the male gender, but he's talking about humanity. So then if God has created me, and I believe that, and if God is a God of purpose, and I absolutely believe that, and if God orders my steps, if I allow myself to follow him and walk in obedience and not disobedience, then I must believe and have to believe that God's purpose has got to be fulfilled in my life. In other words, what God has for me, I will receive it. What God has ordained for me, it will become a reality. And what God has purposed in my life shall come to fruition. All you have to do is wait on the manifestation. I don't believe that God creates things just to create them. I was teaching on this past week. I believe that everything that God created in the beginning has a purpose. That ant that you just killed had a purpose. That fly that you just swatted had a purpose. Those flowers that are budding have a purpose. Those trees whose leaves grow and then they shed, it has a purpose. Some of those things might get on your last nerve. When the wind blows like it blew on yesterday and last night, branches begin to fall. And as I was parking in front of the house on yesterday, and my mom and our family house, and as I was parking there last night, I saw branches in that circular drive. I said, oh, don't let me pull my car up that far. Let me pull it back because this big old tree is here. And I don't want to get up in the morning and I got branches and stuff on my car and scratches or dents. At the end of the day, that tree still has a purpose because God made that tree. Sometimes you think people are meaningless and people have no purpose. Tell a neighbor, who you think you are? God made me just like he made you. I'm not saying we all have to do the same thing and be the same person. But God created me with purpose in mind. He created you with purpose in mind. So when we consider God being not a meaningless God, not a purposeless God, but he is a purposeful God, or God is full of purpose, then he must have a purpose for my life. Because why would a purposeful God create me with no purpose? He had to create me for a specific reason or reasons. And I believe that God has something that he wants me to say, something that he wants me to do, something that he wants me to accomplish. Or else he would not have created me at all. When he creates Adam, he does not just leave him and Eve to do whatever they want to do. He gives them purposeful instructions. Be fruitful and multiply. Subdue the earth, replenish the earth. Take dominion. That is your purpose. You can enjoy everything that I put here. It is good for you to see, to look upon, to enjoy, to eat from. I've placed seeds here and everything that you need to sustain yourself. Of that, I don't want you to bother it. Well, Lord, why can't I bother it? Because I said don't bother it. He has purpose, brothers and sisters. If God tells you don't go there, then don't go there. If God says don't do that, then probably we don't need to do that. How many of you have ever disobeyed your parents? Every hand get up. Quick. All right. I don't want to take a long time with this. How many of us have told our parents we wasn't going to do something and we did it anyhow? Every hand go up. Quick. All right. In this day and in this season, I believe that there are so many people who cannot find their purpose, or so many people that are walking out of their purpose. Well, Bishop, I think you got to do what God tells you to do. No. There would be no such thing as disobedience if you had to do what God told you to do. Brothers and sisters, there are times when we walk in lockstep with God. And then there are times when we are walking out of the will of God. Say amen. There are times when God says, if you want that so bad, I'll just give it to you. He turns us sometimes over to our own imaginations. He turns us over sometimes to our own thoughts and to our own wishes and to our own desires. I believe in Romans, he says, and he gave them over to a reprobate mind. In other words, if you don't want me to control your mind, I'll turn you over to your own imaginations and tell me how that works for you. There are some times that we have wanted something so bad that God let us have it. And we tried our best to give it back to God. God said, no, you keep that. No, you want that bad. You just couldn't do without it. There are times, my brothers and sisters, when I'm walking in the will of God and things are not so comfortable. But it's still the will of God. And there are some times, amen, take them to the center aisle, you all, quickly, and sit the kids down. Thank you. And then there are times when I'm walking out of the will of God and having the time of my life. Y'all better say something up in here. Oh, no, see, ain't no fun in the world. It wouldn't be nobody out there. It wouldn't be nobody out there. There's some pleasures in sin. You think everybody is miserable in sin? If they was miserable, they come out of it. There's some people having the time of their life. If you were to tell somebody, listen here, you need to come to the Lord, but now listen, devil gonna come after you, and you know you're gonna have to climb the rough side of the mountain, and you're gonna have to go through some tests and trials, and you even gonna have church folk hate on you and be talking about you and lying on you. They're gonna say, I'm gonna stay right here in the club. I know what I got coming and going on out here. So there are times when, because God's will is not comfortable, then I want to do my own thing. And I want to be turned over to my own desires and my own imaginations and my own thoughts of what I should be and who I should be and where I should be and what I should have. But I learned a long time ago that the safest place that somebody recorded as a song in the whole wide world, that's every place, is in the perfect will of God. When it comes to God's will, all of us need to desire his will. But Bishop, what if I don't know his will? You got to desire his will even though you don't know his will. Brothers and sisters, in the relationship that we have with God, you cannot have it without something called trust. I don't know why it's foreign to any of us, because all of us that have gotten married and stood down at an altar like this up on a stage or whatever the case is, and we were looking goo-eyed at somebody and singing, the closer I get to you, the more you make me feel like giving you all I got. My love has captured you over and over again. I try to tell myself that we. At the end of the day, we're getting ready to enter into something, and we don't know everything that we need to know about the person that we're Google eyes for. If you knew everything, you might not have gone. You might have walked out when she came down the aisle and said, you know what, look here, Rev, how much owe you? Let me tell you all, I think I'm having sex. I think I need to wait just a little while longer. Our relationship with God is not a relationship of full knowledge and understanding. He says, my ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. So you sometimes think one way and God thinks another way. But I still believe that it's safer for me to trust and to seek the will of God rather than to seek my own will and my own desires. How many of you have made decisions that you regretted in your life? Every hand get up. How many of you all have walked in directions that if you had to do all over again, you would never go down that street? How many of y'all gave y'all number to somebody? Lord, what your number is? 248 569 77 9311. Had to get your number changed 4 days later. All of us have made decisions that we thought were good decisions, but come to find out they weren't good decisions. And if we had to do all over again, guess what we would have done? We would have talked to God before we made that decision. Lord, what you think about this? But there are times in our lives when we desire something so bad until we really don't want to know what God thinks. We just want to rest in the confidence of what we think, not really understanding that we need him more than he needs us. How many of you all had dreams or aspirations when you were younger in elementary school of what you wanted to be? How many of you all are doing that now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a point here. 10, 11, 12. So maybe less than 5% of the people in here that had dreams and aspirations, when they ask you in 6th grade, what do you want to be? I want to be a policeman. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an accountant. Whatever it was. I want to be a preacher. I want whatever. Less than 5% of the people in here are doing what they desire to do when they were young and in grade school. Brothers and sisters, sometimes what you want to do and what you desire to be is not what God would have you to be. I never thought in my younger life that I would be a preacher. And that might strike you strange. Well, your grandfather was a preacher, and your father and your uncles were preachers. I never desired to be a preacher. I never wanted to be a preacher. You will never see no pictures of me as a kid holding a comb. Nobody's ever going to show you a video of me as a kid with a brush in my hand. And God said, oh, I know that boy going to be a preacher, because ever since he was little, he always had something in his hand and he was talking into it. You're never going to see those pictures. If I had 2 combs, I was doing this. Because I was playing drums as a kid. I never wanted to be a preacher. I couldn't. As a kid watching my father preach every Sunday, I couldn't understand how you could talk and scream and say all that for an hour. I was just amazed at him. I'm like, man, he just be going. And God said, believe on me, the scripture said, out of your belly. I'm like, I didn't know how you do that. I never desired that. I'm like, that's way too tough to be talking for an hour. And what do you know, and how do you know what to say for an hour? Because back then, they didn't have no notes. Just open up a Bible. Believe on me, as the scripture said, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. I'm telling you, if you want to be what God wants you to be, wasn't no outline. They just call a scripture and go to town. And I mean, they go for 45 minutes, an hour strong. And I'm saying, how in the world do you do that? I ain't never desired that. Every day you got to get up and read a scripture and just go to town. I just didn't understand that. I never want to be a preacher. Nobody ever going to tell you, oh, I know he's going to be a preacher because yeah, that's all he wanted to be. Ain't nobody ever heard me say, well, you want to be like, I want to be a preacher. Ain't nobody ever heard me say that. Didn't want to be a preacher. If you'd have asked me all during elementary school, all during junior high school, all during high school, what are you going to do? I want to play baseball. I never wavered from here to there to there to here to here to there to there to here. I always knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to play ball. I wanted to play baseball. That's why somebody cut that keyboard off. Find the Rico quick. I wanted to play baseball. That's what I wanted to do. I was good at baseball, and I was playing baseball. Thank you. And as I played, it's all I wanted to do. Didn't want to play football, didn't want to play basketball, didn't want to play tennis. Baseball was my game. That's what I was passionate about. Trust me. You want to go to church 5 days in a row? No, man, I don't want to go to church 5 days in a row. You want to play ball 5 days in a row? I play ball 7 days in a row. I play it every single day. What time we playing? As soon as the sun come up till the sun go down. Didn't have no lights on the field. When the sun went down, you couldn't play no more. I can be out here from morning to night. You'd have to drag me off there. That's what I was passionate about doing. That's what I wanted to do. And when I got to Wayne State and started playing at Wayne State, I found out the higher I got, I wasn't as good as I thought I was. I could play the game, been playing all my life. But then it seems as though things that I simply did with my eyes closed, catch balls behind my back in the outfield, blah, 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 knew the game in and out, just started losing my skill set. What's going on here? And then I began to mature in reading my word in college. And then one of the saints told me to say, well, God don't want you doing that. I said, but this is all I've ever wanted to do. How's it going for you? Well, it ain't going so good right now. And they said, God is shutting that door. Well, God is shutting that door. I never heard that before. Well, God is closing that door because that's not where he wants you. And I've learned in life, if you really want to be saved, you have some desires and you have some wills and you have some dreams and aspirations. But if you really want to be saved, you'll trust God and say, Lord, this is what I want to do. But if this ain't it, shut the door. Tear it up. Blow it up. Destroy it. Because at the end of the day, I think this is what I want to do. But if it's not your will for my life, I need you to interrupt this thing. And that's what God was doing. He was interrupting. And now all of a sudden, I like baseball, but I don't have that passion for it no more. And now I'm getting of that age, and now I'm getting ready to graduate from college, and I get a job, and I'm working for the county executive, Bill Lucas. And I'm watching all the politicians and all these people. And I'm determining I want to be a politician. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be an elected officer, an official. And I'm hanging out in the political world, hanging out in the county, working for the first county executive Wayne County has ever had. And as I'm working for him and hanging around all these movements and shakers, I'm like, man, that's what I want to do. Because I still don't want to, I ain't trying to pastor no church. Pastor church, you got to get a sermon ready every Sunday. You got to preach for an hour. What am I going to say for an hour? So now, I'm getting involved in politics. I'm working in the political arena. In 1986, Pastor Brian office opens up where the county commissioner in the 6th district of Wayne County is running for county executive because Lucas is going to run against Bill Blanchard as governor. He's switching over to the Republican Party. So I'm like, that's where I live, in the 6th district. So folks say, man, you ought to run for that seat. I'm running for that seat. It's a vacant seat. So I'm getting ready to run for office now in 86. I do my homework. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I get out there. I ain't waiting on nobody. I'm getting out and doing the work. And my play sister, who's been involved in politics forever, Virgie Rowland, she said, Chucky, don't wait on nobody to give you permission. She said, just get out and start running. So I'm new to this thing. And I ain't know you're supposed to go by and talk and get the blessings of the godfathers of politics. I just get out and start running. That's what Virgil says, start running. So I get out and start running, man. I had my That's What Friends Are For, and they had the Winans and the Clark sisters and Charles Nix and the Craig brothers and St. James Dunbar. Y'all remember that? Amen. Over at the temple. Had the biggest concert in the world. We raised $8,000. Got my money, started printing my signs and my billboards, and my grass signs, lawn signs, bumper stickers and all that. And I'm running. We going up and down Dexter and Linwood and out the drive, and we putting these signs up, knocking on doors, putting our grass signs in. And just like Virgie said, she said, don't ask nobody, just start running. And when I started running, my dad said, Mayor Coleman Young want to see you. So I said, you want to see me? He said, yeah. He said, he want to see you next Tuesday, blah, blah. So I go down. Mayor's office, he's sitting in this big old chair. It wasn't big, but it looked like he's a big old mayor. I'm sitting like on a little stool on the ground. How you doing, Mr. Mayor? And y'all know the mayor talk very colorful. He said, young Ellis, sit down. He said, you out here running for office. And you done got my blank in a sling. I said, Mr. Mayor, I'm not trying, I'm just running. I said, I'm just running. He said, I told somebody I was going to endorse them for that race. He said, but now I got to endorse you because you already out there. They waiting on me to see what I could do for them. You just out there running. And everybody's saying that the Ellis boy going to win that race because his stuff is all over the place. I left out on Mother's Day and started visiting churches from Mother's Day all the way to the first Sunday in August. 3 and 4 churches a Sunday. Maurice Perkins was driving me. And I was there, and all these pastors opened their doors to me, Baptist, Methodist, they all opened the door. I want y'all to hear Bishop Ellis' son. He's a good young man, blah, 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 good family, blah, blah, blah. I'm Charles Ellis, and I'm running for Wayne County Committee, sister on Democrat ticket. I certainly like your vote, and I graduated from Wayne State University, got my accounting degree, and I work for the Wayne County under Bill Lucas, blah, 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 and I think I do a good job, Bishop, blah, 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 blah. Didn't misuse their time, minute and a half, and I was gone, had my speech down to a science. And Daryl, I was savvy. Because I knew, man, if I'm starting in May, then they going to forget me come August. Who was that boy that came back about church? I said, I'm going to vote for him. So I got some fans printed, 1,000 fans. Y'all remember back in the day, in the 80s? Yeah, y'all ain't had air conditioning back then. Y'all know. Y'all had church fans, funeral home fans. Swanson, Cole, Home for Funerals, House of Chimes. Y'all, come on, y'all. You had Dr. Martin Luther King's picture on the front. On the back, you had the chapel's information. So I had fans made up with my picture on the front, Charles H. Ellis III for Wayne County Commission. On the back, all my information was there, because what do saints do in the summertime when they bored in church? They read the fan. Ooh, this Ellis boy he intelligent. Oh, he working with Dr. Claude Young with STLC. Oh, he's a nice young man. Oh. So I kept my name in that church even when I was gone. I had Mayor Coleman Young endorsing me. I had Governor Jim Blanchard endorsing me. I had Senator Don Regal and Carl Levin endorsing me. I had Irma Henderson, Clyde Cleveland, and other city council members, Nicholas Hood, endorsing me. I had the 1st and the 13th district endorsing me. I had Congressman Conyers endorsing me. I had Ernie Lofton and UAW 600 endorsing me, and I had 2 Volvos. I ain't even got an American-made car. I got 2 foreign cars, and the UAW, Ernie Lofton 600, was endorsing me. Not to mention the Council of Baptist pastors and the Church of God in Christ bishops and everybody said, man, that Ellis boy gonna win that race. Not only that, but the election was the Tuesday of the PAW convention at Cobo Hall in 1986. I got all my friends coming in town from all over the country. The young people's days back then was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The election was Tuesday. All my friends were coming in Monday early that week just to help me work the polls. got an army coming in here to stand at the polling places and pass out my literature as people coming to vote. Everybody knew I was supposed to win. I knew I was supposed to win. There were 9 people running in the race, and 7 of them didn't even have a chance. It was me and one other who got in the race, named George Cushenberry, who had used to be a state representative in some of that same area, but he had lost his seat. Y'all know him now as a city council. He's been in politics forever. Now, somebody told me and George laugh about it today. Somebody said, George, no, you're going to win that race if he don't do something. Now, I don't know if it was George, but George, you know. Another name showed up in the race, named Paxton Ellis. Nobody ever saw him. He never showed up to no debates, for no community meetings. He never put up a sign, but his name was on the ballot. Paxton Ellis. And I was on the ballot as Charles H. Ellis III. And I'm thanking God, man, thank God I put the 3rd there. So now, once I see his name coming in, I'm telling everybody, make sure Charles Ellis III, because there's another Ellis in the race. At the end of the day, I got 4,395 votes. George Cushenberry got 4,485 votes. I lost the race by 90 votes. And Paxton Ellis got 295 votes. My votes. You know how y'all vote? Vote for that Ellis boy, Ellis. Now, the Monday night before the election, hear me good, y'all, because I'm making a point here. I'm meeting with all my campaign people because we're putting our T-shirts on and we're getting our polling locations together and all of that. And I say to all of them, it was during our convention, which was happening right across the street at Cobo Hall. I say, hey, listen, y'all, I appreciate y'all. And I was talking to all the Detroit people, man, we done come a long way from Mother's Day. We done come a long way from March. That's what friends are for, the concert. I said, here we are. I said, I feel I done left it all out here. I ain't been lazy. I ain't been waiting on nobody to do it. From the time I thought I wanted to do this, I ain't wait on nobody to give me permission. I did like Virgil said, I just started running. And then everybody started coming to me to support me. I said, I appreciate all y'all. I love y'all. I said, I love y'all. All y'all that came in to pay extra 2 nights of hotel because y'all wouldn't be coming in town till Friday. Y'all came here Monday to help your boy. I said, man, I love y'all. And we having our little kumbaya at the Pontchartrain Hotel Monday night before the election. And I say this to them, and I don't even know why I said it. I said, the only way that I'm going to lose this race is if God don't want me there. There's no way I can lose this race. Everybody is supporting me. My name is trending more than anybody's name. I said, the only way that we don't win this race is because God doesn't want me there. Watch this. Lose a race by 90 votes. Looking at this name over here, Ellis, 295 votes. Don't know who he is to this day. But he got 295 votes, almost 300 votes. I lose by 90 votes. People come to me, oh man, you need to do a recount, man. Everybody know somebody put that boy's name in there because they wanted to knock you off because they know you was the competition. I said, no, man, I'm good. No, man, recount. It don't cost that much money. You got money, man. You can do it. I said, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I said, well, man, next time I'm working for you, man. Whatever you want to run. I said, no, I'm not running that. Oh, no, man, don't be bitter. I said, man, I'm not bitter. I said last night, the only way that I lose this race is if God don't want me here. I was good. Wasn't feeling bad. Wasn't feeling like somebody cheated me. Ain't called nobody. Man, why'd you do me like that? 2 years later, that's 86, 88, a group of movers and shakers, they come and they take me, can you remember it was either Carl's Chop House or Joe Muir's, and they take me out to eat. They said, we talked to your dad and asked him we could talk to you, and we got a proposal we want to make to you. I said, what is it? And I can talk about this because all of them are dead now. They said, we want you to consider running for the president of the Detroit branch NAACP. And I said, I don't really, y'all think I can do that? Oh yeah, man, because everybody's talking about you from that race, man. They know you should have won that race, man. Everybody's talking about, man, y'all need to get that Ellis boy, man. He's the upcoming star in the city, blah, 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 blah. He's going to be a move and shake in this city. And I said, well, what do I have to do? Because, I believe in NAACP, but I'm not active in an NAACP. I don't go to no meetings. I don't know what do you do? We just gonna roll you in, get your membership, and we got the influence because we control people's influence, and we believe that we can swing all the votes enough your way for you to become the president. Now, this isn't politics, but it's right on the border. And my ego started saying, okay, well, I lost that race. Okay, well, I'll become the president of Detroit, branch of the NAACP, which is the largest branch in the country. I said, let me pray about it. And before I could really get into praying, I called him back. I said, you know what? I said, I don't feel that. I don't. There are probably a lot of other people qualified to be over that, not me. So I thanked them and moved on. Here's what I'm saying. You got to be careful when you allow people to push you places that God has not called you to be. God has already closed one door. I made the statement when you talk about throwing a fleece out, Gideon, if I don't win this race, God don't want me in politics. Not God don't want me in this race. Oh, I'm going to run for city council next time. Oh, I'm going to run for Congress next time. Oh, no. God don't want me in politics. I threw the fleece out and God allowed me not to win. So I said, nah, that's all right. When I close my mind, my desires, my even intrigues of what God was not calling me to, God now begins to open up those things that he is calling me to. You mean to tell me I'm going to be a preacher? You mean to tell me I'm going to be a pastor one day? You mean to tell me I'm going to be a bishop one day? You mean to tell me that I'm going to be head of the oldest, apostolic organization in the modern world? And when I think about all the things that have come my way here in the church world, it's stuff that I ain't had to politic. I ain't had to grease nobody's palm. I ain't had to play no games with nobody. I ain't had to let down my integrity. I became a bishop in 3 years, unheard of, after pastoring one of the youngest bishops ever elevated. When I became presiding bishop, my name wasn't even on the ballot. They voted me in by acclamation. I didn't even know what that was. I just allowed somebody to put my name in nomination, and Bishop Bowers said, nobody's going to run against Bishop Ellis. Let's just put his name on the ballot, acclamation. Matter of fact, don't even put it on the ballot. Let's just vote him in right now. Let me tell you something. When you walk in the favor of God and when you walk in God's will, you won't have to hook and crook. You don't have to play games with nobody. You ain't got to let down your integrity. All you got to do is just say, Lord, if it's your will, let it be so. Jesus said, let this cup pass. That's my wish. That's my desire. If I can get out of this thing, Lord, make the way. He said, wait a minute. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. It's not going to be easy going to the cross. It's not going to be, amen, painless going to. As a matter of fact, it's going to be the greatest pain that the world has ever had or seen. He said, but when he bowed himself and humbled himself to the cross, he said, and came into obedience, he said, now God has exalted him and given him a name that is above every name. When you walk in the will of God, it's not always easy. It's not painless all the time, but the rewards are worth the while. Is there anybody that God closed some doors? You had to get past it, and you had to see God moving in the midst of it. Somebody's headed in the direction. If God don't want you to go, you better say, Lord, wreck that thing. Lord, tear it up. Lord, close that door. Lord, blow that situation up. And now I am where I'm supposed to be. I am in the calling that I'm supposed to be in. I'm walking in a calling that I never thought that I would walk in. Got influence, more influence than the politicians. I don't have to go to them. They come to me. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? God said, I will give you everything that you desire, but I want to do it my way and not your way. Watch this. There are some times when we think that we can control everything. Tell that neighbor, there are some things that you can control. There are a whole lot of things that you have no control of. You got to know the difference. What are those things that I can change? What are those things that I can do? And what are those things that I need God to do? What are those God things, even on this earth, that I need God to do, that I need God to move, that I need God to shift? Jesus says, when you pray, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it already is in heaven. You got to believe that God has got some things already written in the annals of history that have not even yet come to pass. You better believe that God's got some things in the heavenlies that he's already decreed and that he's already declared. And you got to start speaking and decreeing, Lord, let those things be done on earth as they already are in heaven. You got to see yourself as God sees you. You got to see yourself as God desires you. You got to get to a place where you can trust his will for your life. It might not look pretty right now. It might not look easy right now, but guess what? Everything worth having ain't always easy. Sometimes the best things worth having are those things you got to fight for, those things that you got to endure something to receive. Am I talking to anybody up in here? Hold on one second, Brother Organ. I'll be with you in a minute. Sometimes the will of God is not an easy road. Sometimes the will of God is not a painless road. Sometimes it's a painful road. But Jesus still said, you got to pray it. Thy will be done. Thy kingdom come on earth as it already is in the heavens. That means that God already sees my life. And help me, Lord, to walk in lockstep with you. Help me to walk in obedience with you, that I might receive the blessings of the Lord. Help me not to be so hard-headed until you just turn me over to my own desires. You turn me over to my own lust. You turn me over to my own demands. You turn me over to my own wishes. Help me, Lord, to seek your will for my life. Help me to understand that everything doesn't come when I want it. Sometimes when you're walking with God, You want things that God has promised you, but you got to be willing to wait out the time. You got to be willing to stay right here, as the Bible says, and steady yourself. Used to sing a song, I'm going to wait on Jesus. Stand right here and steady myself. I'm going to wait on Jesus. Can't do nothing till he comes. I'm going to wait on Jesus. Stand right here and steady myself. Wait on Jesus. Wait on Jesus. Wait on Jesus. Wait on Jesus. We used to sing that song. We used to rock the church with that song. You can't rush God. You can't hurry God. You can't make no demands of God. If he makes you a promise, you just ask him to give me the grace to wait on it. Some things you can't change. If God says it's coming next week, then you got to wait until next week. If God says it's coming next year, then you've got to wait until next year. If God says it's coming 10 years from now, you had God give me the grace to be here in a decade when the promise is going to be manifested. Your job is to wait. That's why Paul says, be not weary in your well-doing, for in due season you're going to what? Reap if you faint not. Some things you can't change. Tell that neighbor, some things are out of your control. Back when I first became youth president in 92, I got some couples together and we going to vacation together. We took a cruise to the Bahamas the first year, 6 of us. Second year we went to Montego Bay, Jamaica. In Montego Bay, Jamaica, I'd never been to Jamaica in my life. I just heard people talking about Montego Bay, and I believe it was a Holiday Inn resort or whatever was the most famous at that time. We get to Jamaica, and in Jamaica, everything is laid back. Everything is slow. Everything is methodical. In Jamaica, ain't nobody rushing. We're at the resort, 6 of us. Bishop Donnie Golder and his wife, Mike Cooper and his wife, Chuck Little and his wife. Who else was with that group? Mark Talbert and his wife, me and Chrisette. Might have been another couple. We go down the first day to eat breakfast. Everything is nice and clean and had no buffet, had to order off the menu. And we're sitting there, and all the servers are lined up around the wall. And we're sitting there for like 10 minutes. And we're like, do they see us? So y'all know me, I'm always in a hurry. I like things to move fast. So I'm like, excuse me, sir. I said, are you waiting on this table? No problem, man, no problem. Well, if it's no problem, get over here and take our order. Be there in a minute, man, no problem, man. Relax, man, you're in Jamaica. I'm trying to eat in Jamaica. We down there for 15 minutes. So we talking and we enjoying conversation. We like, hey, man, we've been sitting here 20 minutes. Dude is standing against the door. He finally comes over. Hey, man, you want the bottled water? Or, man, I want some pancakes. Can you get a menu over here? No problem, man. Take it easy, man. You're in Jamaica, man. We go back talking. We got our water. It was another 8 minutes. He finally brings some menu. So we ready to order. I'll be right back, man. I mean, I'm up here. There we are now. Order about 40 minutes after we done been there. And the food down. 35, 40 minutes later ain't came. How many of y'all know breakfast don't take but 3.5 minutes? Unless you cooking souffles or something. So we like, hey, man. And we finally got to the guy's name. His name was Rupert. Hey, Rufus. Hey, Rufus, can you go check on the phone? No problem, man. No problem, man. It's coming, man. You're going to enjoy it, man. I'm telling y'all the truth. So there we are for an hour and 45 minutes. He finally brings the food out. And guess what? The food was good. Wasn't nothing wrong with the food. Everybody's order was right. They got their waffles. They got this, whatever. Everything was good. But it took an hour and 45 minutes. So the next morning we come down for breakfast. And the same thing happens. Rufus is against the wall. Hey, man, what's going on, man? Hey, man, we just trying to get some breakfast. All right, man, got you covered. No problem, man. And the same thing happened, and we got breakfast again, another 45 minutes. I mean, I am steaming, right? Man, this don't make sense. Who voted to go to Jamaica? I ain't never come in here ever again in my life. At the end of the day, after 3 days of that, I came to the conclusion, ain't nothing I can do about that. I ain't gonna change that. I'm about to ruin my whole vacation over pancakes and sausage. I done paid all this money, and I'm about to have the most miserable time of my life over eggs and bacon. So y'all know I'm a troubleshooter. I'm the greatest troubleshooter in the world, right? So then I say on that third, I said, listen, y'all, I'm not going down there and waiting no 4 hours and 45 minutes. I said, here's what we're going to do. Everybody take a day, and one couple goes down, and we're going to give everybody the order, and you order for everybody. And call us when the food is coming to the table. And that's what we did for the rest of the week. Me and Chrisette went down. We had everybody's order. Rufus, where everybody at, man? We got all orders, Rufus. Take your time. Because at the end of the day, we come to the conclusion, these people are who they are. They're like, man, why you rushing, man? Hey, man, I can get a Coney Island, man. I can get breakfast at Coney Island in 3 minutes and 47 seconds. It shouldn't take no hour for you. You're not in Detroit, man. It's not a Coney Island. It's Jamaica, man. What we had to do was we had to get with his program because he wasn't trying to get with our program. He said, now you coming over here, you about to mess up my day. You rushing and disturbing everybody in this place. We gonna serve you when we serve you. It's gonna be good. It might take an hour and 45 minutes, but it's gonna be worth the wait. You can't hurry God. If God's got something for you, you just got to sit back and wait on it. Well, Lord, I need it by Friday. Slow down, man. Slow down. Man, this ain't Detroit, this is heaven, man. Just relax, man. It's coming, and when it get there, it's gonna be everything you thought it was going to be. Stop trying to rush God. Just ask God for the patience to wait until it comes. Tell that neighbor, you got to wait on it. You got to wait on it. You got to wait on it. Stop rushing. Stop telling God if he don't get here by next Friday. If he don't get here by next Friday, you're going to die, or ask him to give you strength to wait. If he don't get here next year, you're going to mess up and do something on your own, and he going to say, go on and do what you want to do and tell me how you like that. How many times have we gotten ahead of God and made a mess out of things? How many times did we not even consult God? We knew what we were doing and made shipwreck. This year, somebody ought to be telling God, you get in front of me this year. I'm going to walk where you lead me. I need you to lead me. I need you to guide me. I need you to direct my steps. Am I talking to anybody up in here? Just lean over and tell that neighbor, take it easy, man. Tell him, say, man, this is earth. This ain't heaven. God does things in his own time. He does things in his own season. He does things according to his own calendar. How many of y'all willing to wait on the Lord? Tell that neighbor, you better not get in a hurry, but you better wait till the Lord brings your change. You better wait till the Lord turns it around. You better wait till the Lord delivers it to you. I wish I had a witness up in here. Look at that neighbor and tell him, neighbor, you better trust God's will for your life. It might be hard sometimes, but you better trust God. You better trust God on a stormy day. You better trust God's will on a dark night. You better trust God's will when your body is racked with pain. You better trust God when your loved one done died. You better trust God when you get laid off. You better trust God when they repossess your house. His will is not your will, and his ways are not your ways. But if you trust God, everything is going to work out for you. If you trust God, it might not be easy all the time, but everything is going to work together for your good. The sunshine and the rain, your wholeness and your sick life. Is there anybody in here in this year 2020 that's going to relax and take it down a notch and begin to trust God? If you say it's going to be rough, I'm getting ready to buckle in and ride it out. If it's going to be a stormy night, I'm going to believe that you're going to let the storm pass over. Is there anybody here that's going to trust God this year? I dare to give that neighbor a high five and tell them, neighbor, next time you pray, you better say, Lord, I want this or that, but not my will, but your will be done. Let it be done on earth as it already is done in heaven. Do I have a witness? Just give that neighbor one more high five and tell them, neighbor, oh neighbor, if I were you, I would wait on the will of God. I would wait on the darkest night. I would wait on the most damnable day. I will wait when my body is hurting. I will wait through any illness. I will wait when people turn against me. I will wait when they lie on me. Is there anybody that's going to wait on the will of God? Tell that neighbor, trust the will of God. Trust the plan of God. Trust the mind of God. Trust the thoughts of God. Trust what God is doing. Trust what God is saying. Trust where God is going. Shout glory. Shout glory. Tell that neighbor, trust his will. Trust his will. Everybody stand. Watch this. There's some things you can change, and there's some things you can't change. There's some things you can rush, and there's some things you can't rush. It didn't take but 2 or 3 days for us to get on their program, because they wasn't about to change the culture of that resort and that country for us. So instead of being frustrated about something that wasn't going to change, oh, y'all need to get this. Instead of being all out of sorts, you done paid this money just to be complaining the whole time you here. We had to get on their page, because Rufus and Christopher, no problem, man. Is the food coming, man? No problem, man. It's coming, man. You said that an hour ago. It's coming, man. You in Jamaica, man. Brothers and sisters, God ain't trying to get on your plan. You can holler and scream all you want. You can threaten all you want. You can talk about it. You don't do this. I tell you what I'm going to do. What you going to do? You ain't going to do nothing but faint or keep on waiting on the Lord. This year, not my will, but thy will be done on earth as it already is in heaven. I believe God's got some things for me, and I won't receive it until it's appointed time. My job is to wait until the manifestation comes. Cast not away therefore your confidence, which has great recompense of reward. For after you have done the will of God, you shall receive the promise. Preach, Bishop Ellis. For he that shall come. I got some Bible readers in there. For he that shall come, he will come, and he will not tarry. Are you going to be here when he comes? Job says, all the days of my appointed time, I'm going to until my change comes. Job says, I want to get out of this like yesterday. But yesterday done come and gone, and I'm still battling. I wanted to be over 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago have come and gone. I'm still battling. But Job, what you gonna do? What you got to say? He said, I don't know. The one thing I do know, when he gets done trying me, I shall come forth. I don't know whether it's 2 years from now or I don't know. But I know one thing, when he gets done, I'm coming out of this thing. And I'm coming out like pure gold. Somebody ought to say, I've been in it for a minute, but when I come out of it, when you're coming out, I don't know, but when I come out, I'm coming out with a new anointing. I'm coming out with new faith. I'm coming out with new joy. I'm coming out with new peace. I'm coming out with new strength. I'm coming out with new revelation when he gets done. I don't know what he's doing. But one thing I do know, it ain't gonna last always. And when he gets done, I'm coming out of it. Tell that neighbor, trust his will. Come on this morning. You need God to do some things. You need God to manifest himself. You need God to move for you. Come on this morning. Let somebody pray with you. This is what, the second Sunday of the year. Some people didn't make it this morning. The ice chased them away. Still got to go to work tomorrow. Still got to go to school tomorrow. But the ice chased them away from church. This year, I'm not dragging God all over the place. I'm saying, Lord, lead me. I need you to guide me. Come on this morning. If you're not saved, this is your time. Come on, step out from where you are.